So not just thinking about video at a very broad global level, but also at an extremely local level. How can it give you insight into what's happening across the street? You know, a video about a local basketball club in Chicago is going to be irrelevant to you if you're in Atlanta, but it's going to be extremely relevant to you if you live in Hyde Park and it's happening down the street from you. And the third project that we're working on is an organization that we started last year and are now spinning off as a separate project called the Open Video Alliance. And that's a group of organizations like ourselves, Mozilla, the Information Society Project at Yale University, Red Hat, a bunch of companies and organizations that care about openness in video, coming together to think about how we can advance open technologies. How can we get past Flash as the basis for how all video is played online and move towards newer technologies, the HTML5 video tag. And we held a conference at NYU a few months ago, which is our first event, the Open Video Conference. And even though that sounds like an extremely narrow, specific topic, we were overwhelmed with the response. We had about 850 people come, and I think it's a really important area for where we're headed as a culture. How open will these technologies be? How much access will people have? And I think the idea, to me, the idea of participation and engagement is not just a way to help solve social problems. You know, we focus a lot on helping organizations get out social interest media, documentaries, information about particular issues. But I think that idea of being engaged in culture itself, feeling like you can participate in shaping the world that you live in, how it looks, how it feels, I think that issue to me is an end goal in and of itself. I love what Stefan again just said about when people start to see films that are not, you know, big blockbuster transformer type movies that they would have no chance of creating, but when they start to see creative, interesting, relevant content that was clearly made by somebody like them, that is at a level that they could reach, that they could create themselves, it starts to feel much more possible to create, and it starts to feel much more possible to take part in the world around you, to build the world around you. And so that's really, I think, the end goal and the place that we want to help get and try to knock down the barriers in the way and build tools that we think will help people do that.
Thank you, Nicholas. So we have these three for the entire night. I hope that when we go back to drinks, you will, come up and introduce yourself and let them tell you more about what they're doing. It's completely fascinating and powerful. We also have with us Elena Popovic and Harlan Mandel from the Media Development Loan Fund, founded by our senior fellow Sasha Vucinic. MDLF is sort of the leading player in financing media around the world. Has invested 70 million, more than that, 70 million in more than 60 media entities in 22 countries, creating a new class of media entrepreneurs, typically in places with incredibly weak histories of free press and media infrastructure. So please say hi to them as well. We have with us as well Jimmy Wales, who is an Ashoka member, as we say, which is a very senior Ashoka fellow reserved for, as we say, people who have made their scratch on history, which Jimmy certainly has. Jimmy, why don't you join us up here? Jimmy has agreed to join us in sort of an open mic Q&A, and we do in fact have a mic or two circulating around. So if you don't know, Jimmy is founder of Wikipedia, which is an online, multilingual, open source research collection, collaboratively produced by many thousands of expert contributors around the world, and available for free to anyone with an online internet connection. It's radically democratized the act of radically democratized access to knowledge around the world. So Jimmy, thanks for being with us. And Jimmy has just come back from China, more or less, where he is radically democratizing something they're trying. Yeah, I think you'll just take this when I'm done. So we'd love to hear your questions. I will sort of start the fire by asking this. We talked about the changing information user, and at Wikipedia there are, you can think about information users on any number of levels, but yeah, I wonder how you think about that changed user going forward, or users, and how Wikipedia is evolving or will to accommodate those needs.
Okay, super. So first of all, thank you, Keith, for having me. Of course, you scheduled me in the most difficult part of the program, and I'm the only thing between all these people and drinks. So, so to answer your question, I mean, I guess for me, the thing that I really focus on when I think about the changing user on the internet, I don't think that people who've been using the internet in the US and Europe are going to change all that much. I don't think there's a lot, some new technological developments here and there, but basically the internet is becoming mature, and people's needs are pretty well established at this point. So for me, what I like to think about, I mean, I like to go back and think about the original vision for Wikipedia. So the original vision for Wikipedia is for all of us to imagine a world in which every single person on the planet is given free access to the sum of all human knowledge. So when we think about that vision statement, we begin to realize that this mission is much bigger than just a popular website in the US. We really have a vision of radically changing the relationship of the entire planet to knowledge. We want to make sure that we put the kinds of tools that we all take for granted into the hands of everyone, everywhere. So when I'm thinking about the needs, the changing needs of people on the internet, I don't spend a whole lot of time thinking about English or German or French, or actually even Chinese, although that's a special situation there. I'm really focused these days on thinking about how do we grow the internet, how do we grow Wikipedia in particular, in all the languages of the developing world. Right now, in a typical month, according to ComScore, we see about 330 million people a month. According to our internal server logs, it's a lot higher than that, but who knows which is correct. It may be 600 million, maybe 330 million. Point is, it's a lot of people are using Wikipedia all over the world. But if you think about the entire planet, that's still just a small fraction. I mean, we have a long way to go. And what are the ways that those people are, when they're coming on, how are they using the internet? What are the devices they're using? I mean, by and large, the people who are coming onto the internet for the first time today are coming on via a mobile device. How does that change their relationship to Wikipedia? It's really easy to read Wikipedia if you have an iPhone, right? Most of these people don't have an iPhone, but they will. Let's just assume in 5 years' time, the kind of technology that's an expensive phone today will be more accessible. But how do you create content on an iPhone? Can you really type Wikipedia entry on an iPhone? I would not want to try that myself. It sounds horrifying. So we have a lot of interesting questions, a lot of challenges, thinking about those users and how can we make Wikipedia useful for them.